Happy New Year, Cancer. It's 2022 and I'm back with your horoscope here, as you can see. I'd like to wish you all the best for this new year. I'm just hoping, with my fingers crossed, that it's going to be a lot better for all of us. 2021 was a nightmare. 2020 wasn't much better. But let's animate your chart because it's an interesting one indeed. Looking at the placement of these four planets in the 7th house of your horoscope and the entry of the moon entering into this area just as Mercury exits. This 7th house is all about your principal relationships with others, the way you negotiate in business, the way you love another person, especially in those relationships that are of a more enduring nature. And therefore the new moon here tells us a lot about that. It actually sets the trend for 2022 and it defines really a lot of what's going on in your life with the extra weight of these planets here, along with this Venus being retrograde. That rules your 11th house of friendships, yes, but it also has to do with your life goals. So it's a very, very important transit. I'm probably going to miss a lot of these other ones here, but I think the retrogression, the new moon and the full moons are the most important ones, and these movements of planets into the different signs. But back to this Venus, I think the fact that it rules your life goals shows us that there's a significant shift in your attitude to what it is you want out of a relationship. Now, it matters not whether you're in a permanent relationship or entering a new relationship. I think either way, you are having some serious reconsiderations about the way you've been treading that path of love. Mercury shows also that there may be a tie-in here with the nature of your intimacy, those issues within yourself that may have held you back. Mercury is a planet of communication, and doubly so for you because it rules your 3rd house, this sector, Virgo, and it also rules your 12th house, which is secrets. And the 8th house is also a place of secrets. So there's a tie-in with these themes, maybe getting deep down underneath what it is you've been hiding from yourself or from your partner, things you want to talk about that may be uncomfortable. I'm not saying there's anything nefarious about this, it's just that some things are more or less comfortable, some things aren't. Have a look at the retrograde movement of Mercury there. It's going to move back into this 7th house, which really in a way emphasizes what I'm talking about here. Notice also the full moon on it's getting full on the 8th, I think it's around on the 19th, right at the last degree or so of Cancer, shining its light onto this 7th house again. So having Venus here as well, that has to do with your domestic sphere, your family life. So a big rethink for you, Cancer, in this first month of 2022, giving you an insight, hopefully from this retrograde Mercury. The retrograde planets are not always as bad as they say, although you may have some difficulties here with banking, invoices, money that you have to deal with other people, because this 8th house is other people's resources or the money that you get from people. Mars is in the 6th house. Actually, there are some astrologers that say the 6th house is the loss of money of other people, because it's the 12th house to this 7th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in either sense, both of these sectors relate to debts, loans, annuities. Look at the sun moving into this 8th house again, very close to the area of Saturn. It's close enough there to be called a conjunction. It's going to get closer and closer in its conjunction, and that is a planet of responsibility. The sun is your finance planet. Saturn actually has to do with marriage and this 8th house rulership. So there's a lot of money involved in this, not just exchange of money, but we mentioned your value system regarding your relationships, what your life goals are there. So I think there's a lot of thought going into your responsibility over money, how you're going to manage your money. Also how that may be tied in with your partner who's taking responsibility for paying the bills. You're going to have a shared bank account, that sort of thing. And that's especially important if you're in a new relationship. Venus goes into its stationary direct movement on the 29th. And that will be a welcome relief for you, I can tell you, Cancer, because it means that the thinking and the pondering over what it is that is this life goal may start to become a lot clearer. Mind you too, this 11th house has to do with social activities, friendships, the people that you are associated with. And that's connected also to this 7th house. Have a look at this. One, you've got Mars moving in there as well. That can create some disputes. Maybe you come to the point where you finally realise it's time to speak up. And that can ruffle a few feathers. But at least you're being honest. The truth will set you free. More on your chart next month, but in the meantime there is a chronological list of the aspects, so if you want to find out more about what's happening in January, I've also got the yearly 3,000 words that are up, so you can find out what's happening in 2022, and another video which I'll be doing shortly after this, and you'll be able to capture the whole 12 months and the main sorts of astrological events on that timeline for you, Cancer. It's been great having your company. Hope to see you again in February. Don't forget to drop me a line if you want a more personalised reading, which is apt at this time of the year. And of course, please subscribe. Bye-bye now.